Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of The Drink. I'm your host, Mishy, and this month for April, it is National Poetry Month, and I wanted to be able to highlight so many amazing poets, whether they're local for me or whether they're just all over the world. I want to be able for you guys to just get to know them, get to hear them, and hear their poetry. So today I have Miss Jacquelyn Starks. Yes, guys, I'm very excited. Jacquelyn, I want you to just go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us how you became interested in poetry and what made you want to become a poet.
Okay, hi, I am Jacquelyn Starks, and I go by 6'1", which is my height. People have been asking me, how tall are you? Are you, da, 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 and I'm like, you know what? Just call me 6'1" from the giddy up. And what made me start writing seriously was the encouragement that I was getting from people that was listening to me. It seemed that the things that I was talking about touched more people than I really thought that it would. I just thought I was writing something about what was going on with me or what was going on around me. And the one time I got on stage and said my spiel, they clapped. And people were coming up to me and they were like, I felt what you were saying. I love that. And I was in the seventh grade at that time. I was in middle school. I am here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, by way of Denver, Colorado.
Wow.
And when I was in Colorado, I went to the school for the gifted and the arts of the gifted. And it was a real huge school, but then it was ample room for just poetry. You had to either be in theater or some sort of sports or whatever to actually be in there. But of course, my mom was like, no, there's 9 of us kids.
Wow.
And if one was going, all of us was going to go. I didn't have I had no plan on or any skill to even play basketball, although I was so tall.
Yeah.
But I could talk, though. I knew how to have a story to tell. I would tell stories and write things. And then once I got on stage and did that, and they all liked it and everyone was clapping, and that's what got me into writing poetry.
Wow. And back in middle school, too, that's a long time.
I had to do something because the kids were making fun of me anyway, because I've always been the tallest one, the tallest female everywhere in every school I went to. I was always the tallest skinny one. And so I would write things about that and how awkward I felt and things of that nature. And when I did that, it kind of got the feeling of being an outcast or whatever off of me, and people started to embrace me. So I was like, well, let me write some more stuff, So I did that, and that's how I became 6'1".
Oh, so I love that 6'1's your poetic name.
Yes.
What's that? I like that.
Yes.
So you expressed how in middle school you started writing about, like, what inspired your poetry was you kind of being an outcast, how people were kind of making fun of you, how you felt like that. So describe your poetry style today. What inspires your poetry now?
Now, as a grown-up adult woman, it's more comes from within my comedic point of view of things. To say it with some positivity, even though it may be negative. I want to bring it across in a positive way And because my character, my personality won't allow me not to smile. And I don't know what. I'm always grinning and cheesing about something. My style is just to get up on stage or write my poems as I feel.
Yes.
I could be writing about something so sad, but when I speak it, I'm always grinning. I'm happy. It's a happy write for me.
Yeah.
I'm happy that I'm able to get it on some paper. And that's how I feel. That's my writing style too. If I didn't go through it, see it, I don't know how I can't write it.
Yeah.
Everything that I write comes from something that I've done or seen. It's the true something that went on. So
all right. Yes. I love that. No, I think it's beautiful when you can express that not only just in conversation, but also through your poetry, through your writing, and also express it in such a way, like you said, like you can talk about sad things, but you're going to do it with a more positive spin or like have a smile on your face while you speak it. So I think that is so amazing and a part of your poetic brand right there. I love it.
yes.
So do you have any books published for us? Or are you working on a book at all?
I do not have one published. I have a couple of poems published in one of our books for Rhyme and Chat.
Yes.
And I'm going to be working on a book of short poems. I like epics. I love them. I like epics. I like free verse as well, but I like epic. I like to just get straight to the point. I like epic, and right off the top of my head, an epic is life grows life.
Yeah.
Period.
Exactly. Period. Yes.
So that's one right there that just came from just life grows life.
Yes.
Or and the things that I do write about when I do epics or free verse, it's basically because I don't want to follow a format, and I can just do it the way I want to do it.
Oh yeah.
So I've been learning more and more with Rhyme and Chat how to stretch myself and strengthen by doing the challenges that she has on WordPress, and that's a great thing, a great tool for me, and I love it.
Yes. So what Six was talking about is we are both a part of Rhyme and Chat, which here in Chattanooga is a community of poets. And so we are able to connect with one another. We're able to do events with each other, do open mics. And the head of Rhyme and Chat, Marsha Mills, which you guys will get to know as well because she's doing an interview too.
Yes.
Excited. That's like one of my aunties. She always gives us emails about stretching and strengthening our writing. And they're wonderful. I think it is so important for us as poets to keep stretching our writing and to keep trying new things and to try to write about specific topics that, that either maybe we haven't experienced or maybe, that we have and we just haven't been able to put it in words just yet, but it pushes us to really consider and to really write down things. So yes, I think that's awesome that you're utilizing the exercises. They're really great. I love them.
Yes.
I want to know, was there at any point in your poetry journey where you felt like quitting? Or have you always been like, no, this is my thing. Like, I'm not going to quit this. I'm just going to keep pushing.
Yes. There was a point in time where I did quit.
Oh, wow.
And I had quit because I had gotten overwhelmed with depression behind the clinical mental disorders that I had. The clinical part of being in a home full of mental illness.
Yeah.
My parents, I come from a home of both my parents being touched with some mental illness, especially my father. And I'm the second oldest of 10 kids. And from since I was a little girl, all I've seen was mental illness. I couldn't decipher between what's normal and what's not. I couldn't understand that when I went to school, this is how we're supposed to do. But when I'm at home, you know, I'm having to be a child underneath things that I knew wasn't right because I don't have mental illness myself, but clinically, I've picked up things from just having to deal with it in the home myself. I've picked up behaviors. That's what I'll call them. I picked up behaviors. And when I would go to school, those behaviors weren't acceptable. But when I'm at home, they are. I had to stop. I shut down and reboot myself. And when I say reboot, I mean figure out who I am. Am I mentally ill or am I regular? I mean, what is regular and what is mentally ill? Am I the same as my family?
Yeah.
And medically, they say no, there's absolutely nothing wrong with your mind. But I felt like it because I had to help with all the rest of my siblings that were touched with it. And that's when I quit because I was so overwhelmed. I just couldn't write anymore because I was trying to figure out who I was. Who am I? I mean, wow. I wrote a poem about it, and the last poem I wrote was called Jacquelyn, Lynn, Jackie. Those three people were who I was, and I still am.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you did quit, and so what made you start over?
Well, I just started back again just recently, and I'll be 55 this year. And it took me 30 something years to get back into it because I put the pencil down. I just couldn't. Marsha Mills, I keep telling her to be a part of the poetry group. The organization has opened me back up. And I told her, had not been for her inviting me to be a member of Rhyme and Chat, I would not be writing right now.
Yes. Oh, that is so awesome.
At all again. And it's just an overwhelming feeling for me my pencil flows all day now. Every day I got something to write all the time. And it's just like old times to me. And I feel so much better doing it. Open mics. I'm always, can I get up on the mic? Like I used to. And I know who I am. I found out who I was the 31 years, but I didn't have an outlet to go back and do what I was doing until I met Marsha Mills. I think it was in 2021 or 2022, something like that, one of the two. But ever since I met her, I've been open mic, I've been hosting, I've been doing all of the things that I did when I was younger, back then. All of it, everything. And it's so fast. That's why I say thank you. I didn't even, they love me so. It just makes me feel good to get back out and do what I love doing, is to talk and express myself the way that I do.
Oh, yeah. Your testimony is amazing because I feel like there are other writers out there and other poets out there who need to hear that, because I think there's this, even for me, there's this underlying pressure of like, if I'm a poet, I got to keep going, and you do want to keep going. But then we get tired, or circumstances of life come in. And then I have moments where I'm like, am I still a poet? Like, I haven't picked up a pen in a while. I haven't written some things in a while. Am I still a poet? And people like you and people like Marsha who come in and give their testimony like that, or are like, no, like, you're still a poet. Like, I need you to be here. I need you to come do this. I mean, she'll pick me for real. So you need those people in your life to remind you, like, you could drop the pencil of poetry and let it roll off for 31 years and pick it back up and still be at it and still host open mic, still be a part of these events. Like, that is so important. So I just want to sit and thank you for expressing that, because it is such a need to be encouraged as another writer and as another poet to say, like, it's still in you, regardless of how much time has passed. Like, it's still in you. So thank you for expressing that, for encouraging me.
You are so welcome, girl.
That. So who would you consider is your main audience? Like, if you were to sit back and think about the poems that you have, like, who are you mainly speaking to?
I am mainly speaking to that 20-year-olds on up into my, especially females, especially women.
Mm-hmm.
And there are times when I'm specifically speaking to the old school, my age, and most of the time I am just talking in general about health, self-love, and things that where people can do to motivate each other. I'm speaking to the 20, 25, 30s, all of them. But them teenagers, I don't know how to. These teenagers, woo-wee. I don't know what to talk to them about. I don't know what to talk to the teens about. So I just leave them alone. And if they pick up something, they pick it up. But the ones that I really focus on, and that really gets me are old school. Yeah, old school.
Yeah, no, everybody has their own options. So, like you said, some people can talk to the teenagers. Some of us, we got to talk to the people who are ages. That's beautiful. But everybody needs their own niche and their own audience, and other people need someone who can express themselves where they know where they're coming from. So,
yes.
Okay, that's beautiful. Okay, I'm excited because this is going to be probably my favorite part of the interview. But is there a piece that you would like to share with us?
Yes, I actually wrote a piece for my mom.
Okay,
and I'm going to go. She's in Colorado, and I've been here in Tennessee for the past 31 years, and mom and my family is in Colorado. So I wrote her this for her. So when I go back, we're going to have a Mother's Day situation when I go in May. But this is what I wrote her, and it's called Staying on the Inside. If I had known this was going to happen, I'd have held on tighter back then. I would have never left you in the beginning had I known this would be ending. If I had known any better, I'd have held on for dear life, hiding under your rib cage, being real still as they found a way by cutting me out with a knife. If I had known this was going to happen, I'd have told them, oh no, y'all can't just put me back in. I would have never gotten in the exit position, making it easy to push me out into the hands of the physician. If I had known in the beginning about all life's traumas, I would have stayed inside with you because I love you, Mama. The end.
Oh, I love that. I had to close my eyes and I was like, ooh. I had to feel that.
It's basically me saying, If I had a known all about how it's gonna be outside your womb, I would have stayed on up in there. If I had known it was gonna do like this, I would have stayed inside. I'd have held on for dear life until they cut it out of you when they was using the knife. You know, it's just I love my mom because she was and still is the matriarch. And my dad was just all the way schizophrenia. She just had a few multiple personality situation. And when my dad was just too far gone, she took hold of everybody and she did it herself. And that's why I wrote this for her, because if I had a known, like I said, if we had a known it was going to be all of this trauma, I think, I would have wanted to just stay on inside. And that's what staying on the inside means, staying on the inside of her instead of being pushed out into this world. But, we make it and we go and do what we got to do in life. So,
yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh my goodness. Wow. So I want to know, this is the last question. Wow. What is some advice that you give to aspiring poets, people who are poets but are scared to go out there just yet and say that they're poets? Or for other writers and like poets out there, what is a piece of advice that you would give them?
I would say this. If you got something to say it. Please say it. If you got to write it down, go up there, close your eyes, say what you got to say. And if you've written it down, go up there and just hold your paper steady and read. And that's it. And you will get the feel of it. You will get the feel of it. Shy people who've never done it, just hold your paper and read.
Yes.
It's going to touch somebody. If not everybody, it's going to touch somebody, going to come up to you and say, hey, that was good. And that is the encouragement that you get. And you just keep on moving. Keep on doing it.
Yes. Oh, actually, this is actually the last question, but thank you so much for sharing that, because I know that there's someone out there who are like, I'm doing that. And there's also that pressure of, I don't want to read my poetry, but it's like, look, we'll read it all day long. I'll memorize pieces that need to be memorized, but I will read all day long. There are so many pieces. So yes. So in tradition of my podcast is entitled The Drink. And it is because the drink is another word for body of water, or the ocean, which I love. And also just drinking in wisdom from whoever I have on here, whether it is me, a guest. And so, but I also love, like, a little kind of fun bit that I have is I talk about a drink at the end of my podcast. So I want to know what your favorite drink is.
My favorite drink? Well, let me see. I like pineapple, watermelon, juiced, and then put me a tap of tequila in it. Yeah, a tap of tequila. Yes.
This summer, because it's going to be all the watermelon's going to be ready and ripe, and I'm going to try it.
Yes, it's good. It's so keeps it tight about the face. Let me see. I got any. Yes. I also am a comedian, so I've been this way my whole life, naturally elevated. That's just who I am. So the drink, that's good. A body of water. Yeah. That's a good metaphor right there. I like that.
Thank you so much. Well, I just love and appreciate you for coming on to today's podcast. I'm very excited. Everyone who's listening, please make sure that you are following her. If you're in Chattanooga and you see her name or whatnot, you see Run and Chat, like, just know she gonna be there, and you need to be there, listen to her, and take in the words that she Please meet her. Yes, please support her because this is what this is about. This is why I want to have poets on here for you guys to really support, to really listen to them. Yes, I want you guys to be able to support our local poets. And if you're not in Chattanooga, just poets, period. So thank you so much, Jacquelyn, aka 61. I look forward to meeting you in person at another Rhyme and Chat event and for everyone to just support you through your journey.
Well, yes, thank you so much, Mishy, hers. Okay, then. All right, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. I really do appreciate you having me on.
Of course, yes. And I will see you guys on the next episode of The Drink.